Hello, I'm Doug Kenah, the Commanding Officer of the Nassau County Police Activity League, and I'm here tonight to congratulate our 8 wonderful awardees this evening and 2 outstanding Lifetime Achievement Award winners. Our winners tonight represent a portion of our PAL. They've done a tremendous job over the years supporting all of our activities, and they're all wonderful people. Our winners tonight are Frank Coughlin, Fred Dunwoody, Pamela Fulton, Harry Jacobs, John Meehan, Frank Simeone, Steve Thom, and Frank Pallone. And our Lifetime Achievement Award winners are Jimmy Howell and Ralph Wotruba. I'd also like to thank our 2 Lifetime Achievement Award winners who I've known, both of these gentlemen, for over 20 years, Jimmy Howell and Ralph Wotruba. I worked with Ralph for many years as a police officer, and he was the trustee and president of the PAL, and Jimmy Howell through our lacrosse program. Jimmy has grown that program up from a few hundred kids to over 11,000 children that participate today. So everybody enjoy the evening. We're all very proud to be a part of this PAL, especially myself being the commanding officer for so many years. I've been involved with PAL, and we greatly appreciate everything that you volunteers do for this organization.
It's a total big honor, and for rookies such as myself, I didn't think that would be possible. It's easy to work here, but it's also hard. The people here are great, and you're in good hands if you work here. I answer phones. I do their accounting. I work on the computer sometimes, and I sort checks. If I didn't know about this organization, what would I be doing? I would be sitting at home, like, you know, twiddling my thumbs. I'm pretty sure it's gonna, you know, open the door for other people like me, and other organizations that don't really want to hire disabled people. We can do stuff that other people think that we can't do. Experience has taught me that you don't have limitations.
I am the son of a former New York City policeman, the nephew of a godson of a New York City policeman, and my father-in-law was a New York City policeman, and I always have taken pride in participating in the PAL. I think it's a wonderful way, even in an affluent community like Manhasset, to show what the police can provide to a community. And my proudest moment is that we achieved 2 objectives: quality, and this is primarily with the Manhasset lacrosse program, quality and also participation. My most memorable experience is a boy or a girl learning to frankly fail and learning what it takes to succeed and overcoming failure. And youth sports is an opportunity where the stakes are small but meaningful. It's important to be involved in PAL because we need to respond to the way in which kids entertain themselves these days, which is not self-initiated play, but rather a lot of passive, receptive, rather than interactive activity. And PAL is a conduit, is a means by which we can get kids involved in physical activity and learn some life lessons. I enjoy seeing a situation of a boy or a girl who, as a 3rd grader, is at the end of the bench, and by 7th grade or 8th grade or 9th grade, is at the front of the bench, and because they put in the time and overcame obstacles.
Everything in the future starts with our youth. And what better place to do that? I mean, I'm not a teacher and I'm a business person, so the only way I can contribute is with the PAL or after school activities like that. So it allows me to help, I guess, kids find answers. If a child is engaged in an activity for a long period of time that builds up their confidence, teaches them new things, and just makes them better people, let's say, it all works out in the end. They become better at what they do in school, they become better in the community, and they become better adults. The one thing that I find amazing is the people who are involved with the PAL, how much of a commitment they have to our youth. And it doesn't matter what town they're in. It could be from Manhasset down to Roosevelt, here in Hicksville. It's just people who are involved in the PAL want to see kids do good things. And to me, that is the best thing that we as people, and I find that it's lost in this society of fast pace and social media that, you know, we're not engaged anymore. But the more we get involved, the more we have our kids get involved with activities like the PAL, the better they will become, the better our communities become, the better we become. They make me feel better. I can't tell you what it is to see a kid smile after he's done something, realize that he can do it, and then walks away happy.
I love being involved with PAL because it gives me an opportunity to meet new children and their parents and to let them know that PAL is here to help the children and the parents. School comes first and then practice. If you practice as hard as you do your schoolwork, you'll be very successful. When you're a coach, you have to coach first and be their friend second, because if you try to be their friend, they're not going to respect you. So you have to let them know, look, I'll be your friend after practice, but right now we have to do what we have to do. If y'all want to go compete this weekend, you have to get this together and stop talking. And I guess they listen, because we've competed and won a few times. You know? With them succeeding, I feel like I have succeeded. And that's what PAL is about, helping children succeed at life. I feel very grateful that PAL has allowed me to work with the children of Roosevelt, and I just feel glad, happy, comfortable, gracious. I could go on and on.
It's a real sense of accomplishment, you know, and I have to tell you, the Nassau County Police have been very, very, supportive of all of us. I'm very proud about, what this organization's about. I know we have over 50 teams now. We have boys, we have, girls playing. The PAL right now is the largest lacrosse organization in the country. It's a labor of love. It really is. I've been involved with lacrosse for over 40 years, and it's nothing like watching a kid, second grade, third grade, pick up that stick, and you can almost see it instantly that, they love this sport. And just recently, just the other day, I had a hit on Facebook, and it was a kid by the name of Brian Halpin. I didn't know who it was at first. And he was from my very first PAL team. And just was reaching out saying, hey coach, I just want to say thank you for all you did for us. He's now living up in Massachusetts. He's 47 years old. He is, coaching his kids, all right, doing pretty much everything that I did, all right, as as I came through. When you see that, and someone says to you, thank you, all right, because if it wasn't for what you did back then, all right, I wouldn't be where I am today. So that's pretty rewarding.
Another thing I like about being involved in PAL is children remember you years later. So I had an experience last Christmas where I was shopping in a mall, and a girl who I had coached many years ago happened to bump into me. And, you know, she remembered me, and you know, she brought up some of our times together and our team, and, you know, wanted to know how I was doing. And that really made me feel good, that here's somebody, you know, who years ago, you know, I might have spent a few months with, still remembered, and it was still important to them, you know, that our relationship that we had as a coach and as a PAL kid. People should get involved because our children are our future. Whether they're our own children or they're anybody who just signs up for any sport. And we want to build the next generation. And we also want to instill in these children, perhaps when they get older, you know, they'll have such a memorable experience from PAL that they would come back and they would coach. It's about making these children feel like they're important and making them part of the community. It's always enjoyable when a child or any of the girls, we teach them something, and in a game situation, they make that shot we taught them, or they perform that move that we tried to instill in them, and they make the shot or they do it well. And then when they turn and run back up the court, you know, they kind of look over to the coaches, and, you know, our eyes meet for just a second, and it's just a good feeling.
Got involved with PAL lacrosse specifically, basically when my kids were playing. When they started out, the team was lacking a coach, and I felt it was a good point for me to step in and step up and help out the kids. PAL is about the kids. That's what I focus on, is getting the kids better. You know, they're enjoying the game. That's what I want them to understand and to continue to do. It always feels good when you got support. You know, you start up with PAL and you start coaching, you don't have to feel like you're doing it alone, all right? It's Police Activity League. The police in Nassau County, they step up, they help you out. The most fulfilling thing is when you see somebody come back later and they're gonna tell you, oh, they were a great lacrosse player, they did great in college. That's great. When you see them come back and you see that, they say that you impacted my life as a person, not just as a sports player or a lacrosse player, but as a person. That's fulfilling.
I've been involved for 12 years. You know, it makes me feel good because my kids had nothing to do. You know, this wasn't around. The program started in 2004. We started with like 11 kids for a basketball program. That was both high function and low function. And from that, 12 years later, we've grown it to 14 different programs for both boys and girls. We are the only ones in the country that have a special needs unit. And, you know, like I said, these kids, they can't play with, you know, with typical kids. So we give them an opportunity to come and play every week, all the different sports. They interact, the parents interact. They do a lot of things, you know, away from our programs. A lot of them have become good friends. The parents have become good friends. The involvement with the units are very important because these kids, they get to use muscles sometimes that they're not even using. We've had kids that come into basketball program that can't even reach the basket, and then 3 weeks later, you know, they're making baskets. Horseback program that we have, kids don't speak. They go on a horse, all of a sudden now they're speaking. PAL has been important to me because it just gives me the joy just to see these kids develop. You know, you get these kids that come, they've never been around anybody else, they've never done anything. A week, 3 weeks, maybe 5 weeks, all of a sudden now they're mingling with the other kids, they're competing, and it's just tremendous. And the parents, they come crying sometimes because I have no place for my kids to go. So we tell them, relax, sit down, you know, you got an hour to yourself, and then, you know, we're here, and they just enjoy it. And you know, we've gotten a lot of thank yous, and it's just really refilling, rewarding for us.
I'm a basketball official. I ref basketball. I think I'm a good coach. I think I'm a good teacher. I just love it. My whole approach to PAL, because I used to have a business, is a customer service. It's a customer service. We provide the service to the community. One of the things that I do look for is at the beginning of the season, the kids that don't play, I like to see some kind of improvement. I always tell them, you don't have to be the best kid. You just have to show improvement from the first day to the last, and that's all I look for. And I said, if you do one thing better than when you start, I'm satisfied, and you should be satisfied too. I went to the high school coach and I said, you should help us do this because we prepare kids to play in your program. And he pretty much agreed with me. You know, a successful PAL means a successful high school team. When you're tired, you default to your bad habits. So practice help you, you know, get rid of your bad habits. You know, practice helps you develop good habits. So when you get tired, your good habits take over.
I love PAL for the simple reason that it gives boys and girls the opportunity to play and have fun. It's not about winning and losing. It's about going out there and walking off the field with a smile on your face and know you had a good time. And I coached youth football in Michigan and came back here in 1966. My brother, who was a detective at that time, he said, come on down, we have a lacrosse program, come on down and help us. So I went down there. I saw all the kids having fun. I said, I want to be part of this. So at that time, the police officer, Harry Enterman, said, Jim, do you want to coach our football program? I said, sure. So I got in there. I got so involved and had so much fun meeting so many good people and nice kids, keeping them off the street, that I not only did football, I did basketball, and I did lacrosse and played baseball. And so I started in 1992. As the president with George McLaren and Dougie Kenah, I knew at that time also, and we took over a program with about 80 teams in the program. And at that time, we said we have to start fresh and start it over. We started recruiting the kids. We have built the organization up to 565 teams, one of the largest youth organizations for lacrosse in the United States. Not only that, one of the things I loved the most was that we started a referee school for high schools, boys and girls. What PAL does, again, going back to say we're not about winning and losing, we're about making sure that every athlete plays equal time at the same level. For instance, if I have 15 kids or 16 kids on a team, every boy or girl on that team has to play equal time during the game. And I think this helps them very, very much because it's all about fun. It's all about fun and respect. I think the one I have to thank the most is my wife. She stood behind me, she helped me, she was always there for me. My brother Bob, who was the president of the Detectives Association for Nassau County, he was always there with me, working with me and helping me. So, and my children, again, as I said, they went through the program and they have a lot of respect for what I do. And I have a lot of respect for what they do. So I have to thank my family, because without my family, I wouldn't have been doing this.
I became a police officer in 1967. In 1970, I was transferred to the PAL, PVC unit, and I got involved in it, and I'm still here at 73 years old. This is 2016, and I'm still going. We used to play different PALs. Wayne, New Jersey came over here, and we had, I think it was Lieutenant Giordino was in charge of that at the time, but playing different PALs from out of this area and watching the kids have a good time, compete against another team, and that's it. Going to the PAL conventions, learning about different PALs throughout the country was also I enjoyed doing that. Well, you know, you have hindsight on when a kid is going to give you little problems and stuff. You know, I kept my eyes on him, just trying to make sure that no troublemaking, no nothing, and it paid off on a few of them, keeping them on the side there without getting locked up and stuff like that. Of course, some other ones went by the wayside, but I was happy to keep, like, you know, as I said, about 7 or 8 of them, kept them out of jail, and they even write me today, thanking me for what I did many years ago. I was in a 7-Eleven, and all of a sudden I heard this boy, a man speaking. And I said, man, the voice sounded familiar. And I says, holy smokes. And I turned around, I says, Vinny, is that you? And it was one of the now he's 35 years old, a gentleman that I kept out of trouble. And he said, Mr. Wotruba. and he told the clerk behind the desk, if it wasn't for me, he would have been in jail. So that felt very good. It's fantastic, you know. Even if you save one, that's one that went by. But it's a fantastic feeling. And just sitting there watching the kids play, as I said, you know, you go where they had a bad day or a good day, you give them encouragement. You don't yell at them, you don't do something, you just let them go. And that's the way I always was. And I'll go until the day I die, I'll be the same way. I think a child or a teenager looks up to a cop nowadays. Sometimes you see in the paper that they don't, but basically with a police force there, they look up to you. You're a father figure. You know, just watching the kids, keeping kids out of trouble. Now you look at gangs, you look at heroin, you look at dope, all of the stuff that's out there nowadays. This year takes them off the street, gives them a place to go and something to look forward to once or twice a week that they, you know, with practices or games, and they, you know, have an ability to do something and stay out of trouble. To watch the enlightenment of children playing and watching them do it, and it's satisfaction, not just going out for the win. I think when you go down deep, you think about what you did, what you accomplished with the kids, and as long as the kids are having fun.